Hey! I am so glad you're here. Welcome back to our Pride Month series, Roll for Rainbow. Roll for Rainbow. Where we are getting a randomly assigned color from this little candy dispenser machine that has different colored beads in it that represent the 8 colors on the 8-color pride flag. And then rolling a d8 to see what kind of project we're going to make based on this chart. And I'm excited to see what we get next, so let's roll. The bead machine has spoken and our color is green. Now for the project type. Polymer clay. Okay, I immediately had an idea for this project because I've seen several videos on Instagram of people making these little floating sculptures using string and magnets. The idea is that if you make the string on your floating item just short enough that it can't fully connect to the magnet above it, it's still pulling it up, resulting in a floating/flying effect. Now, I don't have super strong magnets, but we'll see if these little fridge magnets will work. The color is green. I thought of a vine or flower type situation curved over with some sort of insect flying up towards it. I wasn't sure what kind of flower I was going to make or the insect, so I focused on the stem first, using 2 different shades of green clay to also wind some vines around it and add some detail. I also made some blades of grass or leaves to decorate. And then I had to figure out the flower. While searching up green flowers, I learned about the significance of green carnations as it relates to queer history. And I did choose a green carnation for this because of that connection, but it turns out the truth behind it is a little more complicated. Like a lot of queer history, things are kind of hard to pin down because of how they were discussed, or rather weren't discussed, and therefore gets hidden by a lot of terminology that we're just largely unfamiliar with today. Now, the green carnation discourse begins with Oscar Wilde, who, at the opening of Lady Windermere's Fan, asked all of his supporters to wear green carnations. Why did he ask everybody to wear green carnations? One of the potential reasons I found was that green carnations are not naturally occurring. So actually we do have green carnations that grow due to modern horticultural practices and selective breeding, but the color is very pale and the brighter ones that you see are still dyed because they do not otherwise occur naturally. And I don't think they had done that yet, so they have to be dyed, and therefore wearing a green carnations would have sparked a bit of conversation as to why so many people are wearing them, and all to this event. What an odd, expensive choice. Get the buzz, get the people talking. However, because it is Oscar Wilde, some of the other claims that came around were that gay men wore them on their lapels to signify their sexual orientation to those who knew, because at the time it was not safe for them to be out. But what is the real reason? What did Wilde have to say about it? From what I saw, according to OscarWildeTours.com, when one of his supporters asked Wilde what the significance of the green carnation was, he reportedly responded with,
"Nothing whatever, but that is just what nobody will guess. I'm Oscar Wilde."
Not exactly a helpful response, but the green carnation's proximity to queer history, whether that's through rumor, speculation, or truth, it's become a part of queer history nonetheless. Now, I'm not a historian, so take what I'm saying with a big old grain of salt. But if you'd like to learn more about queer history, I highly recommend Kaz Rowe's channel. Their videos are so much more thoroughly researched than mine are, or ever will be, and they have covered many interesting topics, and many of them relate to queer history. So check out their channel if you'd like to learn more. Anyway, after learning about green carnations, this was the obvious choice for this project. So I broke out a 3rd shade of green clay and started sculpting a green carnation to disguise our top magnet. I added a little stem at the top to glue the flower to the arch once they're both baked, and moved on to making the insect. A bee just seemed too on the nose, and then I remembered this little guy I found on my door last summer. This lightning bug looked so cute and desperate to come inside. His little face is just burned into my memory. And because he's a lightning bug, he has to glow in the dark. I made his little light first, sculpting all the little ridges, and then made his wings, enclosing the second magnet underneath them.
Okay, everything's baked. Everything has set up pretty well. Our little lightning bug lost one of the antennae on the way down, but that's nothing a little super glue can't fix. Now, I'm a little concerned about the thickness of the clay impeding their ability to draw to each other in a way that will cause him to float. So I'll do a little test right now. Get some string. Okay, I've taped a little bit of thread to our lightning bug. Okay, maybe making the antennas metal was a bad idea. I'll have to do like string or something. Oh, all right. Okay. Oh, okay, but everybody calm down. Oh, okay, but also not touching. Okay, it worked upside down. Are you? Oh, shoot. I might have a problem. Do it. Oh. Okay, first I think I need to trim some of the clay from this magnet just so that there's not as much in between them. And then I'm thinking I might have to make our little guy a little bit smaller. Trim his little body a little bit and trim the wings maybe a little bit too, just to make sure that he's not being weighed down too much. You can actually see the magnet on top, which I wanted to cover up somehow, but honestly, I would much rather he be able to float than there not be any visible magnet. So that has to be trimmed, and then I have to decorate the base. Now, at first I was going to cover this all with polymer clay just because that's the challenge, but I don't want to use that much clay on something I could just as easily cover with felt or fabric. So I'm gonna find something else to cover this up, and then I'm basically just gonna use a combination of hot glue and super glue to attach things to the base. We'll figure it out as we go, but either way, that's the plan.
First, I shaved off as much of the flower center as possible and trimmed down our little lightning bug. After 1 or 2 flight tests, it seemed to help, so I moved on to decorating the base. I covered it with some green felt and added a bunch of leaves and grass to fill in the space around our 2 main pieces, the stem and the bug. I gave our little bug a more detailed paint job, and after that, it was all done, so it's time for the reveal. Well, this was a fun little challenge. Oh, the magnets aren't strong enough to keep it up for very long. But, you know, he's doing his best. Aren't we all? I'm surprised that it worked at all. Oh, I've been wanting to make a little tribute. Okay, I mean, if you're tired, just take a nap. Little tribute to the little lightning bug that I found on my door last summer. And even though I don't think mine is as cute as he was, I think it's a worthy tribute. I love that it glows in the dark because I always say if you can make it glow, why not? I loved learning about the green carnation too. Here we go. I think the little detail painting I did on the lightning bug made the biggest difference in the world. I looked at him before and nothing was clicking. Oh, so I think the paint job really pulled it all together. The details on the wings, the more accurate coloring on the head. The little legs are very wonky. Initially, the antennae were made from the inside of a paperclip. Because of the magnets, they just kind of stuck right up to the flower. I knew I had to change tactics there. So I did some thread. I think I could have added some depth to the leaves and the grass, but the focus was supposed to be the clay, and I think the clay looks pretty good. So overall, I really love how this turned out. And if you do too, you can let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see what we're doing next in the series and join the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I post, hit the notification bell. YouTube will let you know. Also, a reminder to be sure to check out the fundraiser I'm hosting on my Instagram, where I'm also posting a condensed version of this series. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!